sound of another Malarkey hour coming at ya. I am your host, Matt, and with me, my loyal co-host, Mr. John.
What's up?
All right, John, let's get another week started. Halfway through the month. That's all I have to say about the month.
Getting closer to...
I have no other thoughts about the month other than we're halfway there. Are we halfway? No, you know what? We're not halfway there. I don't know why I said that.
Today's day.
Drunk.
I got a doctor's appointment coming up. I hope it's not tomorrow.
Actually, we're a week there. Am I drunk?
Okay.
Maybe I'm just drunk.
I don't know. Have you been drinking?
No. Actually, you know, I did have kombucha tea earlier, and it has a little bit of alcohol. I read, but not enough to get you drunk. But maybe I've become really
Do you like
lightweight.
the taste?
No, but somebody else bought it, and I had to drink it. So
Was it for like probiotic stuff?
yeah, it's just
I don't know.
So maybe I'm still feeling the effects of that.
Can you make your own kombucha?
Yeah, it's just fermented.
Yeah, I know somebody who was doing it. I think.
Usually, like I think
Has it taste?
Yeah, it's like
I think a friend.
It took me a while to finish it.
My friend did give me some that he bought. But it was weird because it's funny because I asked I think I was drinking and I was out of alcohol, and that's the best he had.
That's very little alcohol.
I was gonna say
it's like less than 1% of it.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't think there's really alcohol in this.
It's about 1%. Yeah, so it's not a lot at all.
Yeah, just fucking lie to me.
Yeah,
That's the kombucha drinkers are liars.
yeah, pretty much. No, yeah, there isn't a lot.
Welcome to our kombucha podcast. This is the kombucha hour.
It's it is one of those like hipster things, like millennials drink kombucha. Yeah,
Past the avocado toast, bro.
yeah, but they're home breweries and
You ever heard anybody call marijuana flower?
Yes, I have.
Did you immediately stop being friends with them like I did?
Usually it's like at a shop, like they're talking about like a flower.
But is it because they want to talk in code?
No.
That's just what they call it.
Yeah, like I went to a shop where they sell like the CBD. I told you about this, and you call it flower.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was talking about the product he was selling, which is the CBD, but he was calling it flower. But I guess it isn't like you can't say like pot or marijuana.
No, I said it, so it was for code.
No, it wasn't for code. Like I think people legitimately that's what they call it now, because it's. But you're right. There's there's
certain parts of the country that do it way more.
Oh really? Okay.
Like these hippie towns.
Yeah, but I guess because always there's a negative connotation to the word marijuana or pot.
Not really.
You don't think so?
No, I mean just call it weed.
Yeah, but
you add an extra fucking syllable now.
I think for people who maybe didn't do it before it became legalized everywhere, maybe for them if they feel more comfortable calling it flower. I don't know. Like it is.
Oh man, no weed for me, just flour.
Just flower.
Baking a cake.
It is a flower, right? Isn't that what you smoke when you smoke marijuana? You're smoking the flower of the plant.
I don't know.
I don't know. But yeah, I have called it. I've already called flower. Yeah.
I have no fucking idea. I just say pass the pipe.
So yeah, these it's a lot of hipster millennial. Although we are millennials, we're older millennials.
Older millennials. Sure.
I think we're too young to be Generation X. We're born like maybe 5-6 years too late to be Generation X.
Right.
So we get grouped with millennials.
I don't care anymore.
So
I hate everyone.
I hate everybody. Well, let's talk about something I know you definitely did like, John.
What's that?
Let's move into our first segment. We're gonna do this week. It's gonna be a segment that we like to call "Let's Party Like It's 1999." Do you remember what we talked about during this segment?
Yeah. And what's funny is you told me I didn't need to know anything.
You didn't need to know anything. Yeah, you don't need to know anything.
But I remember you did mention this briefly, I think last week, for a second.
Did I?
Yeah, no, but I completely forgot till right now, so I haven't even thought about it. Okay, whatever. Let's just go.
So, do you want to explain to the audience what we talk about during this segment?
I don't even remember. That's how little I prepare for this. I told you I need to know anything.
But John, you've heard this. We talked about stuff there in the segment before you completely.
I think
you block it out every week.
I remember we did like Blockbuster video.
Yeah.
Is that one of them?
Yeah. So during this segment, we talk about something from the '90s, John.
Mm-hmm.
One of our favorite things. So,
guys, welcome to the AIDS podcast.
That's '80s.
I don't know.
That's not '90s, John.
I don't know. You want to call it the height of the epidemic?
The height.
I don't know if it was really ever.
The height. Oh, you mean the height?
I don't know if it was really an epidemic, but yeah.
It's still around. It's just people don't talk about it.
Yeah.
But this is not the AIDS podcast, John.
Jesus Christ.
It's a little lighter than last week. Last week was a little dark.
Man.
So this week, I figure we're
gonna get some comments.
I didn't say anything bad.
I think it's what's his name? I think it's Anthony Jeselnik had a joke on that old TV show he had. I'm gonna butcher it. Mm-hmm. I remember he had what was it called? Like Jeselnik Offensive. I think I remember.
You watched it one.
Yeah, I think it lasted a season or two. But it was a funny joke where it was just he had monologue type of jokes. And he's just talking about he's talking about vintage porn.
Okay.
And he's like, it's a great way just to watch a couple of people giving each other AIDS. I was like, wow. It's like, all righty. That's definitely a Jeselnik joke.
Yeah. No. What we're going to talk about, John, is...
I got way off topic.
It's something, since, we're trying to keep it Christmas theme during this whole month. Mm-hmm. I figure we'll talk about something from the 90s at Christmas time. And what better way to do it than to talk about Christmas toys that were popular. And I think this one, it's near and dear to your heart. I talk about, remember a little something called the Talkboy?
Yeah.
I remember you mentioned it many times.
Yeah, and you like to make fun of me like I'm some kind of rich spoiled kid because I had one.
I didn't have one, John.
I know.
My family couldn't afford to buy me a Talkboy.
What do they go for now?
I don't know. It's let's talk a little bit about it. For people, maybe these people were too young to remember. The Talkboy.
Holy crap!
What? $1,000?
Oh, they're all over the place. Some guy's trying to get $5,000.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But I mean, the lowest I see is like a couple of hundred, and it's anyway. Keep going.
So for people who might have been a little too young for this is something came out in the early 90s.
I want one again. I don't know where it is.
So the Talkboy, do you still have it?
I know.
Okay. So the Talkboy was is a portable variable speed cassette player and recorder. It was manufactured by, remember Tiger Electronics?
Mm-hmm.
They were now owned by Hasbro. It was manufactured in the early 90s. And actually, I don't know if you know this, but essentially this was conceived for the sequel of Home Alone 2: Lost in New York. Mm-hmm. They wrote this device into the script, and then after, obviously that movie was gonna be, it's a sequel to one of the biggest movies in movie history. They actually created the one in the movie. It wasn't working. It obviously didn't really work. But they created a working copy so they can make some money off of it. And
it didn't work quite as well as it did in the movie.
It didn't?
I mean, it was cool because he would just slow down the voice and then it would speed up the voice. Because what did he do in the movie? He slowed it down.
Slowed it down to make it sound
like an adult, right?
Yeah. Were you able to replicate that?
A little bit. I think it was just like they just wanted to make it, but yeah. Obviously, the movie is going to sound better because it's a movie.
Yeah. Yeah. They were not actually using that.
Yeah.
So did you use it to reserve hotel rooms?
That's all I used it for as a child.
As a 7-year-old, 8-year-old, I used it to reserve.
That's crazy. I'm looking at the box online.
It's
like, yeah, it's so, wow. It's funny because it was an expensive toy that was like, I guess they probably sold a shitload.
Yeah.
You got Macaulay Culkin's face on the front with the Home Alone 2 and everything. It's
yeah.
Dude, this one's going for $940 on Amazon.
That is crazy.
Yeah. Like the cheapest used one I see on Amazon, $500. Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah. And they made Talkboy. They made Talk Girl too.
Yeah, yeah. And they originally sold for.
Guess which one they bought me?
They originally retailed for $30.
It's not a horrible price point for something like that.
But
back in the 90s,
I was gonna say we want to do a little inflation. Let's do a little inflation. Let's see how much.
I see a toy on here that's hilarious.
What?
It's a Macaulay Culkin action figure from Home Alone.
Uh-huh.
And this is literally the name of the product.
What?
It says Home Alone clothed 8-inch action figure Kevin. It actually says the word clothed as if that's an option that people are looking for out there. Right.
Actually, the $30
sell these Michael Jackson toys.
Jeez, right? It would cost about $55 to $60 in today's money.
Okay, yeah. So it was an expensive gift.
Yeah, it's a good chunk of change.
I think it was like a main thing I wanted, like really, really bad.
So did you get it for Christmas?
I believe it was Christmas. Yes.
Was it the following year or that same year that Home Alone 2, or do you remember?
It had to be like when it came out.
When it came out, okay.
Yeah, because I really
you saw it in the movie.
Yeah, when did the movie come out? Like probably November.
Yeah, November of that year. Yeah. And it came out late.
That's a smart thing to do. You release it like before Thanksgiving or so.
Yeah, yeah. Everybody's gonna want it.
I really, really wanted it, and I was like, "That's all I want."
And they got it for you, John, because you're a rich kid.
I never. I don't think I got much else besides that.
That's all they got you, right? Every year when you ask for something, I was like, "Then we get you that Talkboy."
Yeah.
That's what you referred to it.
I wanted the Turbo Man doll. They sell it. Like the real, that would have been smart.
Oh, that would have been cool, but I don't think the movie was that popular.
Yeah, I don't know how well
it's more as funny like to us.
Yeah,
like, I would buy one.
Hell yeah.
Just to say I had one.
The Turbo Man dolls, they're all gone. It's pretty. It actually holds up, the movie.
Stating the obvious. Yeah,
it's not a bad movie.
I watch it every year. Yeah,
it's really not a bad movie.
I like it. Yeah, it's funny.
And Phil Hartman's hilarious.
Yeah, no, he is. He is hilarious. Yeah.
Put that cookie down.
So, the box came in Home Alone 2 themed packaging, John. Do you remember Kevin McAllister in the front?
I'm looking at it. I wouldn't have remembered it. I was curious on the price.
So the original model consists of a battery-operated handheld cassette player/recorder with an integrated monophonic speaker. Grip handle, so you can hold it up and record, an extended microphone. So the main controls are similar to other portable cassette devices with play, stop, fast forward, rewind, and record functionality. So you talked earlier about the different versions. Officially, there was the deluxe Talkboy. So this was released after the original Talkboy. It's nearly identical in appearance and function.
So if you had the original, it's probably worth more.
Yeah. The thing that they added a slowback feature, which it enabled users to manipulate the recording and playback speed.
Well, then let me ask you this: if mine had the slow and the fast, so
maybe you got it the next year,
then I probably didn't get it right away.
Yeah, because the original didn't have that. The original Talkboy.
Oh, okay. No, because I remember I had both. I had the slow, but you could slow it down and you could speed it up.
Yeah, so it would essentially change your pitch. The pitch of the recorder.
Okay. So I guess, then I must have not gotten the original, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, it makes sense. Maybe they wanted just a version out.
Damn it, Mom.
And then, so the user could toggle between normal and playback speed using the red thumb switch, which also operated the power on and off. The slow featured used a slowed down recording playback speed of 76% and a sped up speed of 130%.
Yeah, because everybody knows what that means.
Another thing that they changed, obviously.
Mine was only 74%.
Was it?
Yeah, I could hear the difference.
You could hear the difference.
Yeah.
Obviously,
I got gypped again.
Another thing they added the word deluxe, so you knew that you were getting the better version or the newer version. And the placement of the headphone jack was relocated a little bit.
I'm trying to remember if I even used the headphones. Like I'm saying, I don't think it came with headphones. I think you had to get headphones.
Get the headphones, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It included one blank cassette.
Mm-hmm. So
you think if you buy this and it's never been opened, right? Because you think the batteries still fucking work, or did it not come with batteries?
It doesn't say if it came with batteries or not.
But batteries can't be good from that long ago.
Nah,
They're all melted.
Battery lose. Well, as long as it's not inside the device, they was just,
I don't know. Yeah.
So the other versions, other than the deluxe Talkboy, there was the Talk Girl, which is they got you right. You got the. It's a pink colored Talkboy, and obviously it was marketed towards young girls. Talkboy FX Plus. This was a writing pen with a built-in recorder and 6 buttons that would play sound effects. The Talk Girl FX Plus, which is essentially a Talkboy FX Plus but in pink. The Talkboy Junior, which is a pocket-sized version of the Talkboy, which uses internal memory rather than cassette tapes. And then the Talk Girl
internal
Junior.
memory back then?
Apparently. And Talk Girl Junior, which is a pink version of the Talkboy Junior.
I had the cassette tape, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Surprised they even had internal memory.
Yeah.
At that time. How much did that shit cost?
I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah. So what are your fondest memories of the Talkboy, John?
This is gonna sound weird.
Go ahead.
But I used to think it was like, I used to like spy stuff. So I would like hide it like my older like sister's like room, like when like people like she would have like friends over. Not like in a weird way, but I'm just saying that way I was like that way I could probably it was more like a thing where it's like, oh, maybe I can catch her and get her in trouble for something.
Oh, really?
I would push record and I would hide it.
So you're just blackmailing your sister?
Yes, basically.
Did you ever get anything incriminating?
Nah, not really. It was just more like.
Did you ever tell her that you recorded her in secret?
No.
So
what I would do is, you remember the old school alarms? They would they would go crazy loud with the little bells that hit back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
I had like 3 of those for some reason growing up, right? Like the people would just give them away as like gifts, and just to piss her off, I would hide them and set them at absurd hours.
And when she had sleepovers.
No, it didn't matter.
Oh,
just to wait, just to be like, okay, one's gonna go off at 2 a.m.
That's
so I
annoying.
figured, like, yeah. So she would find that and get all pissed off and like turn it off. And then another would go off like at 3:30 a.m. Then I'd like another one go off at 5, but I would hide them in like the most clever places I could. And they're so fucking loud.
Yeah, those are loud. Yeah.
And I thought that was funny.
So you never told her that you secretly recorded her?
I think I did.
Oh, okay, that's like she's gonna find out unless she doesn't listen to this podcast, which I would imagine why she wouldn't. Since everybody listens to this podcast.
My mom won't even like it.
She never likes it when you post it. She's your
Try.
Facebook friend, right?
Yeah.
Your mom doesn't care what you do.
I think she just thinks everything I do is weird.
It's just another thing to add to the weird list.
It's just confusing.
She's like, I got him that Talkboy, and he was doing weird spite shit with it.
Yeah. And I would like, I was a weird kid too. I think I would pretend like I had like my own like radio show.
And you would
yeah, I'm glad that finally almost came true with this shit we're doing.
Is this your dream come true, John?
Absolutely.
This is what you wanted as a kid?
Yeah.
You finally
I was
have
holding
it.
that Talkboy, and I was like, someday I'm going to have a podcast. My mom won't even like it. I'm barely going to want to do it.
This is weird. You're going to have a podcast where
talking
you
about
talk about the Talkboy.
I know. It's like some Twilight Zone shit.
Yeah. If only 7-8-year-old John could see you now.
What if there's some weird time travel movie where I had to go back in time and destroy my Talkboy? There's probably dumber movies out there than that.
You know, I had this thing. I don't know if I heard it somewhere, so I don't want to take credit unless, in case I heard it somewhere back and I don't remember I heard it from somewhere. I always thought it'd be funny to go back in time. And you know how, like, you're in a situation where...
I don't know.
Where like somebody tells you something and you don't have a good comeback for it, but then later on, like that Seinfeld episode, like you think of you think of the best clever comeback.
Which Seinfeld was that?
It's where like they're making fun of George. They're eating like lunch and like they make fun of him.
It's George. I know it's George.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
So he tries to recreate that situation so he could do it again, so he could have the comeback. But I always thought it would be cool to be able to travel back in time, with that knowledge of that comeback, so it happens again, and then you have the comeback.
Nice.
That's how I would use time travel, just for that.
It's funny.
Yeah.
It's the most frivolous fucking shit.
Yeah, but
It's like that.
I don't know if I heard it somewhere. I'm afraid I probably heard it somewhere, and I'm just repeating it. But I was trying to think back. I don't think I heard a comedian ever say that.
Yeah. It's absurd to be funny.
Yeah, that's the only reason that we use time travel. And then people would just be like, Matt's the most clever person we ever. He has the best comebacks. And then I started thinking about it. You ever meet somebody who's like always has the best comebacks? Or they're just time traveling.
I'm either like on or off.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I'm just like, man, like set me up again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm like, shut up.
Because he had nothing. But yeah.
Your mom likes whatever you said.
Yeah. So the Talkboy brings me back. I always wanted one, but my mom said we couldn't afford it. Oh, you know what it was? It was either a Talkboy. Although I have to admit, I don't want to say.
It'd be funny. You had 3 talk girls, and you're just mad because you didn't have a Talkboy.
No, you know what? Although my mom did give me a good present around that time. I think this is I used up all my equity on like good gifts. With this, she did get me a Genesis, Sega Genesis.
I had one.
Yeah, so it was pretty pricey. Of course, you had one, John.
Shut up. I never had. I had the Genesis. I never had a Super Nintendo.
Yeah, Sega Genesis is the only. Yeah.
I had a Nintendo 64, and that was like, I was so happy when I got that.
No, that's pretty cool.
'Cause it was the only game I had was GoldenEye. Yeah.
GoldenEye.
It came with. I think it came with GoldenEye.
All right. You never bought anything else?
Well, no, I think that was like the only game I had for a while.
Oh, okay.
Like for and then like you could play GoldenEye forever.
Yeah.
And then like I had a couple other friends that had one, and I'd borrow their games, and then I would rent them and shit.
From
later.
Blockbuster.
Yeah.
That was the most fun part.
Yeah, I remember looking at GoldenEye, like playing it at the store before I had one.
Yeah, that's the only time I played
It's
it.
like, holy shit! I got these special effects are ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like just shooting like the little.
Like they'll never get better.
I know.
This is the height of special effects, right?
Yeah.
It's like there's no way they can be able to up the ante on this.
Yeah. They still haven't.
Some say they haven't, right? No. So no, I left wanting for Talk. You know what? The closest I got to Talkboy, you're gonna laugh. Maybe like 10 years later. Like I don't know where my like.
You got a voice recorder. Like
No, maybe not 10 years later because that would be a little sad. No, like I was probably like a few years later. I had like this blocky like blue like tape recorder, and like I found a microphone. I connected it and it worked, so I would record off of that. So that was the closest I ever got to a Talkboy. Like this like put together.
You would just talk slow on your own. Just like
Yeah, pretty much. So
yeah.
I never got to have a Talkboy.
You can still get one. I mean, they're cheap.
Yeah, but at this point,
Just get a talk girl. Suits you.
Yeah. Okay. All right, John. So next one, we're gonna stick to this segment. This whole show is gonna be about this segment, but I feel like I don't think we could talk about a Talkboy for an hour. So I'm gonna switch.
I bet you we can.
Let's switch up gears for another 90s item and another Christmas toy. Now this one I did not want, and I'm sure I don't know if you had one. Maybe you did. You never told me. But do you remember a little toy that became a huge craze in the late 90s called the Tickle Me Elmo?
No. Oh, yeah, of course, but I did not have one.
Yeah, you didn't have one.
That's the one that cost $5 million for around the holidays.
So the Tickle Me Elmo is a plush toy from Tycho Preschool, and it's obviously modeled after the Muppet character Elmo from the children's television show Sesame Street. When you would squeeze, you remember what it would do? You would squeeze him, and he would vibrate and shake, and he would giggle.
Go into it.
And laugh.
Epileptic.
Yeah, it's just like
seizure.
Yeah, and it was just a laugh, and this became the biggest toy of the late 90s.
Yeah, it was one of those because most years there'll probably be one soon that we'll find out, right? There's always one thing that's hard to find, right?
Yeah. We'll go over that in a little later on.
Yeah, I just remember this thing was super hard to find.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you know what? It was the first time that I remember.
Today, if you buy it, you need Elmo's consent first.
You know, I was playing with that Elmo doll at the store earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I asked his first consent. Actually, there was one where he reads a book to you.
Are you talking about the books where you push the buttons?
No. Like this is an Elmo doll, and
he's holding a book.
He's holding a book, but he reads it to you, like a little nursery rhyme type of thing.
Yeah. I'm just going around tickling people.
Right. And then actually, I like to go up to people who are dressed as Elmo and just start tickling them.
Okay.
Usually they don't respond the same way the doll does.
Right. How do you think I got these scars?
Right. And then they had another one where it hugs you. So you press his stomach and he's like, Elmo loves you. And like his arms actually go around.
And this is all consensual, right?
Yeah. I was playing around with it in the store.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the first, like, from as a kid, I remember like seeing news footage of like mothers beating the shit out of each other for a toy. Like it got scary.
People really died for this. These crazy deals.
Well, this was crazy. So
you get trampled in a store.
Yeah.
Walmart or something.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Well, this was separate from that. I think like a few.
No, I don't think it was about Elmo. Yeah. It was like another.
Just in general,
thing.
During Christmas time. Like a Walmart employee got trampled to death.
Was it an employee?
Yeah. Yeah, they opened the doors and people just rushed over them and they got
Christ.
trampled. Yeah. That's serious stuff.
If we're getting killed over the Popeyes chicken sandwich.
Yeah. That became crazy.
I don't know if anyone's getting. Have they gotten killed?
People were going.
I know someone's gotten stabbed, right?
People got stabbed. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Have you tried it?
No, I haven't tried it. I've been offered it, and it's like, nah, I'm good. It's like when I was a kid and people offer me drugs. I'm like, nah, I'm good. Same thing with the chicken sandwich. Nah, I'm good.
It's like that. I mean, you're not as big on it as me. There's that South Park KFC episode.
Nice.
Yeah, where they banned the KFC, or they moved. There's no more KFC, so Cartman has to go to like a methadone clinic.
It's like black market.
Yeah, it's a methadone clinic, like a clinic and all they give him is like for 24 hours is a little cup of gravy to hold him over for another 24 hours.
That's funny. I mean it is crazy. People get when something seems like it's limited or it is limited. Well, you know what's crazy? So when this toy actually came out earlier in the year.
Yeah.
Before Christmas.
And it's probably easy to find at the time, right?
Yeah, it sold for $28.99.
Mm-hmm.
And by the end of the year, it was selling for up to $1,500 by resellers.
Nice profit.
Yeah. So this is what happened. So it was released July of that year, with a supply of 400,000 units, and they sold well. It wasn't like it wasn't it was popular, but it wasn't people getting killing each other over popular, and it was widely available until the day after Thanksgiving, when they suddenly sold out. And that
became known as Black Friday.
Yeah.
Before that, it was just Friday.
Just Friday, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's when this Christmas shopping season was approaching, and Tyco Preschool, the company that sold this, ordered 600,000 more dolls from their suppliers. Mm-hmm. So this is what happened. This is what helped them a little bit. Remember Rosie O'Donnell? She had a show, show, Daily Talk.
I'm familiar with her. Yeah, with her work.
Talk show, and she showed the toy on her talk show in like around early October.
She had her own show.
Yeah, she had her own. Yeah, for a long. I thought she got rich. She got super rich.
Can't remember.
She was Ellen before Ellen.
It was a daytime show.
Yeah, she was Ellen.
It was
before
called
Ellen.
Rosie, right?
Yeah, Rosie.
Yeah.
Very original. Right?
Yeah, I was like, we need a name.
Yeah, she was essentially Ellen before Ellen. So yeah, she talked about the toy in early October on her show, and so with that, I mean, it sort of, that was a good plug, and it created this demand for this doll.
It's like when Oprah does like her, who's the one that does like their favorite things? No,
Oprah.
No.
Oprah does her like favorite book.
Well, not anymore, but
yeah, before she did. Yeah.
Or if you were part of her book thing.
Oh yeah,
remember,
yeah. Your book was gonna be a bestseller.
Yeah, if she picked one of your books.
That's how much power she had, or she still has. Yeah.
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 Somebody does their favorite thing still. I don't know what it is.
Is it Ellen? I don't watch Ellen.
It might be. I don't know. Maybe it was still Oprah and somebody else. I don't know. Anyway.
So obviously there are stories all around people. There is one story: 2 women were arrested in Chicago for fighting over the doll. While in New York, some people ran after delivery trucks, hoping to get their hands on the Elmo before it reached stores. They're like robbing these trucks.
Damn.
Apparently, somebody purchased a Tickle Me Elmo for $7,100 in Denver.
They never had a problem like this with like the Harry Potter books, right?
Nah.
They always knew it was going to be a big thing.
Yeah, and Harry Potter came out like maybe a few years after Tickle Me Elmo.
Yeah.
It was just super popular.
Yeah, it'd just be like it's kind of like getting like it was like the new iPhone.
Yeah, people are just camping out. Like iPhones don't run out. Like you get an iPhone.
Yeah, they know they're not stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they want to sell that.
But they had a problem with game consoles too. We can talk about that later.
Yeah. Actually, we'll talk about that later.
Mm-hmm.
In a few minutes. So yeah, it's crazy. There is a radio station in Los Angeles, KBIG. They had a radio auction for charity December of that year. Bob's Pharmacy won and purchased a Tickle Me Elmo for $18,500. This is going to charity.
You're trying to tell me that there's money in pharmaceuticals?
So apparently, John, this is what we're talking about. Walmart, a clerk working at a Walmart store in Fredericton. I'm sorry, I'm completely butchering.
I'm just gonna say Fredericton.
Fredericton, yeah, there you go.
I'm not even reading it. I'm just correcting your broken English.
New Brunswick, Canada. This clerk was one of those injured by they call it Elmo mania.
The Elmo massacre.
During a
You never read about it in your history book?
The Elmo massacre. So apparently they're doing a Midnight Madness sale on December 14th, and a crowd of 300 stampede down the aisle after spotting this poor guy being handed a box of the toys by another employee.
What do you mean a box?
So I guess they were like trying to put it up on the shelves.
So it was an employee handing it to an employee.
Yeah, and they like bum rushed them. And
I'm so glad if I was the guy handing it to him. But thank God. I was like, hey, do you want to hand it to me? Or should I hand it to you?
Right? So this poor guy making minimum wage at Walmart, he got trampled and he suffered a pulled hamstring, injuries to his back, jaw and knee, and a broken rib and a concussion.
Jesus Christ. NFL injuries and shit. Did you play football? Nope.
Work at Walmart.
It's there for the Elmo massacre.
So by the end of December of that year, the entire stock of 1 million Tickle Me Elmo toys had been sold.
How many? Were there multiple injuries?
Oh, yeah. I'm just reading a few of them.
That'd be crazy if there's like a support group for just people who just...
You know what? We joke about it, but there's got to be some PTSD involved.
Fuck yeah.
Right? Like, people are scarred. Like, people probably still, like, remember this. Like, oh, yeah, I remember when...
It's funny how I think I told you, I think I kind of do have PTSD, maybe.
From Tickle Me Elmo?
No, not from Tickle Me Elmo. We'll go over that some other time.
Okay.
But it's funny how the stuff that's given me probably PTSD from when from my quacky psychiatrist that I've seen is it's never anything like that traumatic. It's always weird, something weird that like just like get panic attacks sometimes.
Yeah.
It's like always something weird. It's like when I had that thing, I'll keep it to myself. But anyway, I had my incident where I was held at gunpoint.
Yes.
Like not too long ago.
Yes.
No, that didn't. Like I was more upset about the fact that I got my phone taken from me.
Yeah.
And I didn't have anything backed up.
Yeah, and I remember
and that bothered me more than actually like getting pistol whipped with a gun and like like not knowing if I was gonna get shot.
Yeah.
I was more like, please leave my phone. Like,
no, I mean it's
we'll get into my psychological issues some other time.
We'll do a whole episode. It'll take us like a few hours.
Jesus.
Yeah. So John, I obviously like any nice capitalistic society, We see one thing working, so we try to exploit the fuck out of it. So, early the next year,
That's the American dream.
all right, Tyco, the company obviously behind these toys, they release more Tickle Me toys based on other characters from Sesame Street. So there was a Tickle Me Ernie, a Tickle Me Big Bird, a Tickle Me Cookie Monster. But none of these, they had good sales, but none of these.
Are they all? They're the ones that started this whole Me Too movement.
Right. So none of them obviously had as much fame as the Tickle Me Elmo.
Mm-hmm.
And then they did re-release them, Tickle Me Elmo. And with it, they released a mini Tickle Me Cookie Monster and a mini Tickle Me Ernie. But
Nice.
Yeah, so Tickle Me Elmo. So you never had a Tickle Me Elmo?
No, never wanted one.
You know,
you know what? I'm not a Sesame Street person.
Even as a kid,
you know what's crazy?
did?
You know what's crazy though?
What?
Is that I did get like some Sesame Street action figures as a kid, or whatever they were. They've actually, I don't know what you call them, action figures. They were like well made, like almost like ceramic kind of like shit. And some were action figures, some were like you drop it, it shatters kind of thing.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm thinking about it now, like those are probably worth some money.
All right.
There's so many things that I've got rid of, like my original. We're gonna talk about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Well, we're gonna enter in the next part of this segment. It's all connected.
I did have some of those.
You know, I'm trying to remember. There was one doll. I remember one year I was a little older, and I remember I saw it in stores. It was pretty cheap, and I thought, you know what, I should buy it because I was remembering Tickle Me Elmo. I was like, what if it becomes a craze? And it wasn't. I can't remember what it was. It wasn't obviously as big as Tickle Me Elmo, but I remember later on that Christmas, it did become and they were a little more expensive. I was like, oh man, I should have bought it. I forget what it was. I was probably a teenager when it came out. I'm trying to remember what it was, but I just remember thinking, lost opportunity. I should have bought
as far as like money making.
Yeah, like you buy it early, because obviously until it becomes a craze, it's gonna be like retail price. But
I tried to do it recently, and I don't think we're gonna go over this one. I tried to do it recently with when that new Nintendo came out. The whatever you call it.
Yeah.
The HDMI one and everything.
Yeah. You
Like
tried to do it with that?
Yeah. Was it like a year or two ago when they were like you couldn't find them?
Yeah.
And then I had this thing on my phone. And I saw that they were restocking a Walmart like 30 minutes from here, and it was like 2:30 in the morning, and they were gonna and I saw that they had like 5, and I sped over there. 5 people in line in front of me.
Oh, really? For it?
Yeah, and the electronics manager was there, and he's like, we're gonna put it out at like 6 a.m. He goes, we have 5. There's 5 people here in front of you, man. And I'm just like, fuck you. And I asked the guys, I'm like, are
y'all gonna get it?
Yeah, I'm like, you guys are staying, right? And I go, what do you want for it? Like, they're like, and a couple of them were gonna play it. They're like, no, we're keeping it. A couple of them were like, hell no, we're selling the shit out of this. So I was like, that's what I wanted to do. I didn't want to tell them I wanted to sell it.
Yeah.
So I just lied.
You're like, I really want to play it.
I lied. I was like, man, I go, my little nephew wants this so bad. I really did say that.
Yeah.
They didn't give a fuck.
It's like, we'll sell it to you for like 4 times the price.
Yeah, they're like, oh, does he? Like, how much money does your little nephew have?
Oh, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Did you try to do that with one of the PlayStations? I remember that.
It didn't work out.
It didn't work out either.
Yeah, because I figured it was the PS3.
Yeah, but it's hard because you're already trying to buy it when it's already scarce.
Well,
you need to get ahead of it. You need to sort of predict like this is going to be the big toy of the season.
Well, when I say it didn't work out, is I went to Target.
You bought a few, right? The PS.
No, I only bought one.
It was the PS2.
My friend,
PS3.
The PS3. I only bought one.
Yeah.
Because it was only one per customer.
Okay.
And I was by myself.
Like you didn't want it. You just wanted to resell it.
I wanted to resell it, and then what happened was, within like a week, they were like easier to find.
Yeah.
You know, but I actually went to a Target like at 2:30, 3 in the morning, and it was the same shit.
People in front of you.
Yeah, like I think they had like 7, and I was like number 10.
You know, it makes you think like, are these people just hanging around the store for like hours and to be the first ones there?
Because as much as people say like, oh, we'll just do Black Friday on like Amazon or do it online, no, the best deals are still
in store.
being a fucking crazy motherfucker.
Yeah.
And like
just obsessed with
and being like, fuck you guys, Thanksgiving to your family. I'm gonna get my tent and my catheter and all I'm taking my food to go. It was nice seeing you. And I'm gonna fucking wait at Walmart.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bring your own catheter. That's what I call it. BYOC.
I'm not sharing. Not again.
Right.
People are crazy.
Yeah. Oh, dude, maybe that's a market right there.
What?
Just go start selling catheters.
You know, didn't we talk? Maybe
who was it that did that?
Didn't we talk about this?
Oh man, because you know they have. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Before I forget it, who was it? Okay, you keep going. I'll find it.
No, I was gonna say. I want to say it was me and you. We were talking about like creating a market. Not that, but like going and like selling food to people like lined up. Was it me and you? I can't remember. Maybe I'm making.
It's not a bad. It's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
No, there was. Who was doing that filibuster in front of Congress?
You talking about Rand Paul?
Rand Paul did one, but Rand Paul said he ended by I think he said I really have to pee.
Oh,
and no, it was a woman and she used a catheter.
Really?
Yeah.
Who's the one who peed at the? Was it Rand Paul, or was it who's the one that did the nursery rhyme? That was
Rand Paul.
Okay, what did Ted Cruz do? He did a filibuster.
Wait, was it Ted Cruz? They just started. They started reading like green eggs and ham.
Yeah, that was Ted Cruz. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think he would have just done that anyway. Like,
that's just his favorite thing to say. No, but toy crazes are crazy. So you know what? I talked about two of them, but there's one every year that toy dominates the Christmas season. So I thought to end this week's podcast, I think it'd be a fun game to go back through the years, starting in the 80s, and let's go through every year and see what the most popular Christmas toy that was of that year.
Mm-hmm.
So you ready to play? You want to make it into a little game, see if you can guess it?
I'm not gonna guess it, but go ahead.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll do it real quick. Isn't it? That'd be so. 1983, John. Just guess real quick. What do you think it would be?
3 years before I was born. I don't fucking know.
So Cabbage Patch Kids.
I just gave away my age. I don't care.
Cabbage Patch Kids was the popular toy that year.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever have a Cabbage Patch Kid?
My sister had some.
Mm-hmm. They were before our time.
They're creepy looking.
Yeah. So actually, they were created in the late 70s, in 1978. And
isn't that the real Annabelle doll?
No, that's Raggedy Ann.
Oh, it's Raggedy Ann. Yeah.
So for whatever reason, 1983, even though they've been around for about 5 years, 1983 was the year of the Cabbage Patch Kids. And they were the hottest toys. And by 1985, the toy had over $600 million in sales.
Yeah, they were popular.
Yeah. So 84, John, Transformers.
Really?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So the...
did you watch the cartoon?
It was a little before I think it came out in 1986.
I never found it that good, that interesting.
It became old, yeah. By the time I was a little older, it was already too old of a cartoon for me. Yeah, I watched some of the newer reincarnations. Like they had the. I
watched the first movie.
Like Beast Wars. Yeah, I watched the first movie.
I was thinking watch the first two. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. Let's see.
What's her name? The hottie that didn't get along with the director.
Megan. Was it Megan
Fox?
Megan Fox. Yeah.
She after that she only did the first one or the first two.
She only did the first one.
She missed out. I'm saying like that was a big payday.
Yeah. Yeah. Next year, this toy dominated the next two Christmases. So in 85 and 86, it was the Teddy Ruxpin doll. Did you ever have a Teddy Ruxpin?
No, I actually didn't really know what it was until the movie Ted.
Really?
Yeah.
Actually, I had a Teddy Ruxpin.
You're a spoiled bastard.
No, you know what? We got it for free.
Mm-hmm.
There's a picture of me and my mom. I don't know how she won it.
A picture of me and my mom robbing a toy store. And then being those guys that just I don't know how they got caught. We took pictures.
I gotta ask her again. I forget what the contest was. She won it somehow. but this was a few years after the craze, after it first came out. But I remember it had like a cassette player in the stomach, and you would put the tape in, and then the mouth would move and tell you the story. Like you had an accompanying book, and you would put in the tape for that book, and it would read you the story to you, and his mouth would move. Creepy ass stuff.
Yeah.
In hindsight, but I loved it.
My brother-in-law, have you seen it? He has that life-size Ted doll.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, it's pricey too.
How much is it?
I don't know. I'd say at the time, like probably close to $100. I don't know.
Well, Teddy Ruxpin,
Even if it was like $70, it's still
pricey. Yeah.
for a teddy bear.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says a few things. It says dirty shit because it's a Ted.
Oh, it talks. And I've never seen it.
Yeah, how much is it?
The Ted doll? I don't know.
Yeah, I thought you were looking at
it. Nah. But yeah, it moved. It was one of my favorite toys. I mean, to this day, I still remember it. Like, as a kid, I think to the point where like it didn't, the mouth didn't move anymore. That's at a certain point, but it still played tapes, obviously. So I think I still had the tapes. So it was weird.
I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt you. But $129.99 at Walmart right now.
Jeez, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So these tapes were weird. So one side of it was a weird tape. So one side had the audio, and then the other side had the all the data stream that controlled the motors in the eyes and the mouth.
Dude, this toy sounds expensive.
Yeah, it was pricey even back then. I think it was like close to $100.
There's so many moving fucking parts.
I think it was close to $100 back then.
And tech back in the day is expensive.
Yeah.
So the more features you have.
When they re-released it a few years ago, it was close to $100.
I didn't even know they re-released it.
Yeah. It looks a little different. But yeah, Teddy Ruxpin. In '86, John.
Was that just a random name they came up with for the doll?
Uh-huh.
Okay, it wasn't based on anything.
Yeah. There was a cartoon. I remember seeing the cartoon as a kid.
But so it was based on a cartoon, or they made the cartoon.
They made a cartoon because of the doll. Yeah.
So the toy was so popular that they were able to make a cartoon.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Normally it's the other way around.
Yeah, usually they built, and we'll get to that in a bit. So in '86, you're never gonna guess this. Do you remember the Kush balls? They look almost like pom poms, and like they're soft and they're like made of like rubber.
Or they have the little stringy.
Yeah, the little stringies. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the hottest Christmas toy in '86.
Or it just feels like rubber hair.
Yeah.
I'm saying like that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Right? It's like a ball full of just.
It's just
like
it's a ball.
Little strings of rubber.
Apparently, is made with about 2,000 rubber strings.
Yeah. I remember it felt interesting.
Yeah. So in '88,
I might have been on MDMA.
So in
I'm just kidding,
'88,
guys. Don't do drugs.
in '88, this is probably something.
Or test them first.
In '88, this is probably something you've played with. It was the NES.
Hey.
The Nintendo Entertainment System. It sold 7 million units in 1988.
That was the NES?
NES, yeah.
That was the handheld one, right?
No, this is the original Nintendo.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I had one.
Yeah, you had one?
Mm-hmm.
I never had one.
I had one.
My cousins had one.
You had to like blow in the cartridge because the game would never work.
Which is funny because they said that it was just really.
Yeah, I don't know. It just became like a thing people did.
Yeah.
And you would have to because sometimes it would just not start.
It was just actually the act of you taking it out and putting it back in. Yeah. That's what really did it.
Yeah, but it was funny because you would try to find just the right angle, not push it in all the way.
Yeah.
And if you push it all the way, it would rarely work. You kind of have to pull it out a little bit, just barely get it to fit.
Yeah.
It's after about 10, 15 tries, you're like, fuck yeah, time to play Mario Brothers.
Yeah. And the next year in '89, it was the Game Boy, which is the handheld version of the Nintendo.
I'm just gonna sound like an asshole. I had one.
I
had the big fat original one.
It sold 118 million units.
Played mostly Tetris on it.
Oh well.
I'm saying that's what I played on it. It was Tetris mostly.
Did you ever get the Game Boy Color?
No. I kind of wanted one, but at that point I was like, nah, I don't.
So in 1990, this one's near and dear to my heart. Was the Teenage Ninja? Actually, they spelled it wrong here. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They crossed the words.
Mutant Teenage Turtles.
Yeah. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Action figures.
Right? Not fully clothed. Unlike that. Unlike that Kevin McAllister doll from Home Alone, which is fully clothed.
And obviously the cartoon came out. Actually, it's funny that the toy caught up.
We got to post that picture of that McAllister doll. I can't believe it says that in the description.
I'll make sure to put it. It sold more than 30 million toys. And if you're interested in a little bit more information, there's actually a Netflix.
Yeah, you had a lot, right?
Yeah, I had a lot of them.
Where are they at?
A lot of them. My house burned down when I was a kid, and a lot of them burned up in that fire. I had a lot of them.
You didn't start it, did you?
Not just the fire.
Okay. I mean, I know you're one of those kids that really wanted attention.
Right. That's how I got it. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I had a lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think I had all the main ones, and then I had Shredder, Rocksteady, and Bebop.
I had all those guys.
Did you have the pizza thrower?
I had the pizza thrower. I had.
I remember the warning on remember the little pizzas. It was green, right? The pizza thrower.
Yeah.
It would run on batteries. You push the little gray button.
Yeah.
The little pizzas. You read the back. It's like
don't aim at anybody.
Do not aim at.
Of course, that's what you did.
Do not aim at people or animals.
Yeah,
all I did was shoot it at my sisters.
Yeah.
There's only so many turtles you can knock down before you get bored.
I had all the
the seat was yellow, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had all the weirdest
I didn't pull it up. This is all from memory.
I had all the weirdest villains. Like I had the one with the rat, the guy who had all the rats on him.
Is he the one that with Spark? Oh no, that's Darkwing Duck.
Okay, yeah. No, this was like one of the villains I had. There was even one where it was a robot turtle. Like I remember that was one of the villains. I had all of them. The only thing I didn't have was Krang.
Which one?
Krang. The alien, the brain.
Oh yeah,
I didn't have Krang.
No, I didn't have him. You probably actually had more than me.
Yeah.
I just had. Yeah, I remember I had the 4. I had Shredder and Rocksteady, Bebop.
Yeah.
Pizza Throw.
Yeah, I think that was the ones I was upset. Like my mom.
One Halloween, I was a turtle.
Were you?
I was. I
was a turtle too, but I was way older.
I was Raphael, I think.
All right.
Is he the one with the thing in his hands?
Yeah, the 3-prong.
Yeah, the 3-prong.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck that thing is.
I think they're called Kai.
I remember. I don't know.
Yeah. I say I think, like I really do know, but I don't want to seem like that weird. It's like I think it was Kai.
I think it started in 1917.
No, but it's interesting. If I don't know if you watched that Netflix document. It was not like they have those documentary series, like they'll do episode after episode on a subject.
Yeah, sometimes those are good, and sometimes they're
really
way too fucking long.
No, there's one. It's a series. Is like I forget what the specific name, but it's toys from like your childhood, and they do one on different toys, and they did one recently on the Turtles toys. So if you want to hear a little bit more on, you want to spend close to an hour hearing about the Turtles toys, is a pretty cool episode to watch. I watched it not too long ago.
What's it called?
Toys that made our childhood or something like that. Let me look it up real quick. Netflix.
That's cool.
Toys that made us. That's what it's called. So if you have Netflix, which I'm pretty sure everybody listening has Netflix.
It's that many. It's like multiple parts and shit.
Yeah, it's different. It's just every episode deals with a different toy. So it's
how long is an episode?
30 to 45 minutes.
That's too long.
You'd be surprised. Like there's some, especially if you like the toy, like you had the toy. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
Okay. So that was a turtle. So 1991, John, the Super Nintendo.
I didn't have it. I had a lot of friends that had it.
Sold 49 million units. 1992. I know you had this one, the Barney doll.
No.
Did you ever watch Barney and Friends?
Hated it.
You hated it. It's funny. A lot of people hated it.
My mom put it on.
And the weird thing is, we were young, but I don't know.
It felt childish.
Yeah, it felt like really childish, right?
I love you. You love me.
Like I don't even think like babies liked it. Like I heard babies just throw up, and not because they like throwing up their milk like they usually do. Like they were just throwing up.
4-year-olds. This is fucking dumb.
1993 was the Talkboy. 94 was the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Another
didn't get into it.
I know you didn't get into it. I love them. Like I had another one I had a
My
lot
sister
of.
loved it.
Had all the Zords.
It was one of those things where like we fought like in the afternoon after school or whatever. Like we'd come home
Mm.
and we have to fight about what TV shows to watch. So
Mhm.
we had to compromise. I always wanted to
Cheers.
watch. Cheers. I don't know if it was on at that hour.
Both of y'all can agree on Cheers, though.
The one that I always would watch is the one of the Batman cartoons and
Okay.
Darkwing Duck.
I love Darkwing Duck.
Yeah. And then she got to watch Power Rangers.
See, but
And-
you know what? When I watch Power Rangers, it was in the mornings
Now, I remember it was
before school.
It was still on after school though.
Oh, really? I would
Yeah.
watch it before school. Like I think they aired it both times. Because I would watch it
Yeah.
before school. Like it's weird. I would watch a whole episode like from 7 to like 7:30.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I didn't really watch anything before school. I would
Yeah.
catch little things here and there.
Actually, I would wake up extra early sometimes to watch like cartoons. And people, I don't know if people realize like cartoons started like at 6 o'clock in the morning, 5:30, 6, like back before Netflix and.
I would watch X-Men on Saturday mornings.
Oh yeah.
But now I really like the Batman one. I
Mhm.
forgot which Batman it was.
Mhm.
And then I
Darkwing
like
Duck.
that Darkwing Duck.
Did
And
you
she
ever
got to
watch-
watch Power Rangers.
Uh-huh.
And it might have been on like before because I remember I would just watch enough to know that I really liked the Pink Ranger and she was totally hot.
But you never got into Power Rangers.
No.
It's just you never like.
No.
You never got to Saved by the
I
Bell.
really
either,
like
right?
Kimberly.
You never
that
got
was
to
her
Saved
name.
by the Bell, right?
No, and that was another one I had to compromise on. I'm like, watch your stupid show.
Out Saturday mornings. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch DuckTales?
Yeah, I loved it.
Did you watch all the Duck ones? DuckTales,
Actually,
Darkwing Duck.
I think we both got along with DuckTales. We liked it.
It was Darkwing Duck, DuckTales, and then there's one other one.
DuckTales. Oh, it's when he would jump in his pile of coins.
Yeah, there you go.
In real life, that would fucking kill you.
Was
He
it
would just like dive in, like it's soft and like comfortable.
Which one was that one?
Which is the one with the Scrooge.
Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah, but he would have a like a.
What was,
dive.
what was the name of that?
It's not DuckTales.
No. Oh no, not DuckTales. I'm talking. DuckTales is
Okay. No, you're right. You're right. DuckTales is the one with the.
the pilot.
Yeah, with the little mouse
Yeah, the
pilot.
No,
Yeah.
he was a bear.
Yeah, but the mechanic was the female mouse with the tail.
Was she a female? I mean, was she a mouse? I know she was a female. Oh yeah, she was a mouse.
I think she was a mouse.
Yeah.
So we're talking about the Scrooge cartoon.
Yeah. Which one was that one?
I'm trying to see
So
right
anyway,
now.
95 was Beanie Babies. I think we talked about Beanie Babies before.
It was DuckTales.
Oh, that's DuckTales. Which is the one with the pilot then?
That's it. Her name was Gadget. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one was that one?
Yeah,
Tailspin.
Tailspin.
There you go. There you go. Tailspin.
Yeah, and she would always have like her.
I don't know. You know what's funny? I said DuckTales. There's no ducks in that Tailspin. I don't know why I thought that.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's
yeah.
another duck show that I would watch. There's a lot of duck themed cartoons in the 90s.
Was it
I'm-
it a cooking show? No. You sure?
No. My cooking show.
You go from that to that. Some weird.
No.
Bang. If anyone gets that reference.
96 was obviously Tickle Me Elmo. We talked about that. 97 was Tamagotchi. I never got into this.
I barely remember what that is.
Like a little handheld. It was like digital pets, and you would feed it. And
Oh, is it like Gigapets?
yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Same thing?
No, this was different.
So Gigapets was after that?
I don't remember. Furby was in 1998.
I remember that was a big.
The Furby, like the eyes would move.
Remember the Furby murders?
Yeah,
I mean, that was a big one. Where
$35. That's expensive.
But what did it actually resell for? Something stupid, I'm sure.
Yeah, they sold 40 million units the first 3 years of release.
I remember Furby was the one after. Yeah, that was the big one, right?
Yeah, their
So-
eyes would move, and it was creepy.
No, I'm saying that was the big one. Like people were paying ridiculous
yeah,
amounts.
yeah. In 1999, Pokemon merchandise. Did you ever have the Pokemon cards?
I had some Pokemon cards, and I have some suspects.
Mm-hmm.
They got stolen from me in like middle school.
Do you know? Oh, you say you know maybe somebody who had.
I don't even remember their name, but I made the mistake of like taking them out and like showing them, and I was trying to sell them.
Yeah, we were in middle
Yeah.
school when this came out.
Yeah,
I
and somebody
remember.
totally like robbed me, and I was so upset.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had him killed.
2000.
I'm not sure if they did it.
You just want to be sure. 2000 was the Razor scooter. I never got this one. Like, kids love the Razor scooter. It looks really dangerous.
I was gonna say, yeah. I'm like, I still can't ride, like,
skateboard.
Yeah, I can't even ride the ones you can rent, like the ones you can rent with the apps.
Oh,
like
yeah,
the
that's
Lime
good.
and
Yeah.
like Uber has one, right?
Yeah.
Lyft has one too.
Yeah, they all have it.
Dude, I scraped up my ankle.
But they're all illegal. No.
Well, you have to ride them on like certain places.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. At least in our city.
I scraped up my ankle pretty bad.
You fell off of it? They're dangerous.
Dude, it's going like 20 miles an hour.
Yeah, they're dangerous. Yeah, they're super dangerous.
I was trying to like brake because I saw people, and
yeah, it's one of those
and I'm like I'm squeezing the brake and trying to stop with like my left foot.
Well, the wheels are like the size of like a small donut. Like,
yeah.
I mean, what do you expect? Right. Actually, they're probably a little bigger, but I'm a little exaggerating. 2001, Bratz dolls. Obviously, John was really into that one.
No.
2002 was Beyblades.
Beyblades.
So they were like this weird. They were tops, and it would go into like the spinning like arena thing. I remember a few years later, my older nephew got into Beyblades. But this was like, 5-6 years later, when he was born. Beyblades, yeah, that was big. In 2003, 2004, it was Robo Sapien. It was a remote control robot, and it had a bunch of pre-programmed moves. They sold 1.5 million units.
What is it called?
Robo Sapien.
Okay.
Yeah. 2005 was the Xbox 360. I bought one of these.
I bought one from you.
Oh yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I bought it because I wanted to play Halo. That's the reason I bought it.
Yeah. I actually bought it from you. I never even played it. My
Your
nephews
yeah.
just played it. And like, whatever.
Yeah. 2006 was the PlayStation 3. I bought one of those.
The one I got screwed on.
Yeah.
I didn't get screwed on it. I just.
Hey, so you know what? You got the PS3 around the same time you got your TV, right? The one that we're currently looking at right now.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So 13 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. 13.
Give it up for Samsung.
The speakers don't work, but
come on, don't say that about Samsung.
2007 was the Nintendo DS.
And I've played it, but I never had it.
Sold 154 million.
I just
units.
lost my lust for video games after like PS3. I barely wanted the PS3.
Yeah, to play it.
I just wanted like Madden.
Yeah, and it was one of the first like Blu-ray players. People forget.
Yeah,
that was. It's still like, to me. You know what's funny? I bought the PS4 just for the Blu-ray.
Nice.
Yeah, I still like the way they do the Blu-ray.
You know, it was a dangerous toy, and I bet you it wasn't that popular.
What?
I don't think it's on your list. It'd be funny if it was.
What?
There was a toy. Do you remember they would show commercials for this thing called Moon Shoes?
Oh, I remember those. I wanted one.
How fucking dangerous,
oh, it is dangerous
did that shit look?
Yeah.
They were fucking people, like, they basically two little inflatable bouncy things that you fucking tie to your shoes.
Yeah.
And you jump really high, like on asphalt, and you go up in the air and try to land.
You say you tried these or no?
No.
Oh, okay.
I just remember seeing the commercials.
I don't know how high you went, though.
Okay, no, but in the commercials, they looked high. That's all I could say.
Did you ever see somebody use them?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, I did, and
did they go high?
They're no longer with us.
I was like, I wonder how high somebody actually can go with them. I don't know if you know this. I don't know if you know this.
Even if it's 5 feet.
Yeah.
They're doing it in the street.
You think somebody can go up 5 feet with those?
Even if it's 3 or 4 feet, it's dangerous.
Yeah.
You're just bouncing.
Yeah.
Randomly.
No, I agree. Yeah.
It's like a portable bouncy castle that you can just do on asphalt.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's so ridiculous.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So in 2008, this next one, John, this is one of the next ones that I remember. This was huge because you couldn't find it. 2008 was the Nintendo Wii.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot find this.
I remember you couldn't find it.
Yeah. I mean the PS3 as well, but the Wii, it took like several years. Even the PS3, eventually you could find it. Like, it didn't take that long.
That's all I said is, like, I got it, and then I realized the market wasn't as hot.
Yeah, you should have gotten a Wii. It took like 2-3 years before you could find a Wii.
I had a friend that worked at like a game store or whatever, and he sent me a text saying like, "Oh, they had like 7 in stock."
The Wiis?
So after I fucked up at Target and didn't get one,
You're talking about the PS3s or the Wiis?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going back to PS3.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just saying I
You
was
never
able.
finished? Oh, I didn't realize you.
No, I was
finished
able to
yourself.
get one.
Yeah.
But like less than a week later, or whatever.
Yeah. So 2009, I've never heard of this one. A Zuzu Pet.
No idea. Keep going.
2010. Apparently, it was the iPad.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
You think Apple would have been smarter?
Yeah. They sold 300,000 units on its first day of release.
Yeah, that's still the Apple culture. People that are just waiting in line.
Mm-hmm. So this next one was a little weird. I didn't realize this was that popular. 2011 was the Leap Pad Explorer. Do you know what I'm talking about? So
No.
it was almost like a tablet, and it's designed for kids to learn. So this was priced at $100, and it was full of games, but educational games. So it's a lot cheaper than the iPad, and kids are learning. So apparently this was super popular.
What's changed that whole market is too many people make different stuff like that now.
Yeah. So this next one, 2012, was...
I'm trying to buy myself some fucking moon shoes right now. I found some on Amazon.
Nice. 2012 was...
Don't know how much. That might be too heavy.
2012 was the Wii U.
Wii U, okay.
Yeah. 2012. This is the one I was playing with earlier. Was the Big Hugs Elmo.
Mm-hmm.
So that Elmo came back.
Remember, these are consensual hugs.
To consensual hugs.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Oh, this is the one. Maybe this was the one. I think it might have been the Big Hugs Elmo that maybe I was a little older. I think this is the one where I thought about buying early in the year, and it wasn't that crazy, but it did go up in price. It might have been this. I don't know why that seems familiar. 2014, it makes sense because it's probably like when the movie came out. Elsa doll. Remember when Frozen was the biggest thing for like a year and a half?
I know it was huge. I never saw it because you already know I don't really watch a whole lot of animated movies.
Yeah.
But like I have 100 nephews and they won't shut up about it.
Yeah. So the Elsa doll was huge in 2014. It's crazy. It had the Disney merchandising arm in 2014 alone, $4 billion in sales.
Well, right now they got the Frozen toys are like selling like crazy.
It's crazy. 2015 was the BB-8 Star Wars toy droid. You ever play with one that moved?
A toy droid.
The BB-8, the little rolling.
I know which one BB-8 is.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Mm-hmm. It sold out on its first day of availability.
I stopped buying Star Wars toys. I bought some. I bought a little bit of the Phantom Menace toys.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the last time I touched, even bought Star Wars toys at all.
Yeah.
But I know what it is. It's like, it's pretty big.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like physically big.
Yeah. 2016. This is the last time that you got into the craze, John. It was both Hatchimals and the NES Classic.
Oh, that was the Nintendo. Yeah. That's when I got fucked at Walmart.
Yeah. Did you remember the Hatchimals?
Hatchimals. What is that again?
So it was a interactive egg. You would
I remember hearing about it. It's like hatch and like animals, right?
Yeah, it would hatch and then you would see an animal.
Yeah, I remember hearing that was the thing to find.
Mm-hmm.
And like you could make money if you had one.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks so stupid.
So this list ends in 2017, and I've never heard of these. Something called fingerlings. So they're these toys like monkeys, and they like hang onto your fingers.
Jesus Christ!
So this is
what will they come up with next?
So this company is called Wowie, and they advertise heavily on YouTube instead of traditional TV. And of course, if you're around any kid, they are glued to their whatever device that their parents thought wise to give them, and they're on YouTube all the time.
Right. Who's that little asshole kid who gets paid
Ryan?
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking Ryan. He has way more viewers than we do.
It's something ridiculous, man. What did he make? Like 17? He made $22 million in 1 year.
He didn't. His parents did.
Yeah, I know. 7 years old to review toys.
Uh-huh.
Jesus Christ. We are doing something wrong here, Matt. Because we're talking about toys. We know way more than Ryan. Right. And Ryan is fucking killing it right now.
I've never watched. I've heard his voice, but I've never watched one episode of his, whatever we call it.
Yeah. I think he's a flat earther.
Last year, I don't know if you ever heard of LOL.
Just the term.
So there's these like dolls, and there's dolls, and then like there's like these weird eggs, and like you open them up, and it's like little girls love them. That was like the biggest toy last year.
No idea.
So you let's look up. What do you think the big toy this year is looking to be?
I think the most profit you could probably make is. No, never mind. I'll say that for off the. I don't want to make you have to edit this shit.
No, don't make me do more. Let's go on the list.
You know which one I was curious that you didn't bring up?
What?
But I know it was like it was popular, but I know it wasn't like that popular because it was expensive. And you're gonna make fun of me again.
Go ahead.
Call me a rich bastard.
Go ahead.
And it was not. It was at the 2XL.
What's the 2XL?
Remember the talking robot, the 2XL.
I have to look it up,
dude. Once you see it, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. 2XL electronic talking robot. Just put 2XL robot.
Yeah, sound good.
It would ask you trivia.
Oh, I remember this. Yeah.
I had it.
Oh, motherfucker.
I had it.
This was, wow.
I would bring it on road trips with me.
Yeah.
Like with my parents. And it would just ask you trivia questions. You picked A, B, C, or D.
Uh-huh.
And if you got questions right, it told you a little joke.
Mm-hmm. You know what's crazy? I'm looking at the history. You know, this was first created as an educational toy robot in 1978.
I think the original looks ridiculous.
Yeah,
right?
and then they reintroduced it in the 1990s.
It doesn't even look like a robot or the original.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. No, it took a lot of fucking batteries too. Like,
oh really?
Yeah, like C's or D's, like fucking like 100 of them.
You know what? I played with one of these.
Did you?
You
would put in a cassette, and then
Yeah.
it would correspond. Be like, it would ask you trivia questions. But like, is the answer A, B, C, D? If you got it right, you won a joke.
Really?
Yeah.
Ah.
He would tell you a joke.
So this is where you got all your stand-up material.
Shut up! Don't tell anybody. Been stealing from 2XL since 1992,
right.
when I was 6.
Oh man!
I remember they were horrible jokes. It was like, what did the grape say when it got stepped on?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, nothing. Just let out a little wine. And
That's
I remember that joke particularly.
That's funny.
I was like, God damn, this is gold. Told it last week.
The cheerily.
Killed.
So to close out, let's look at some of the toys that are predicted to be or already the biggest toys of the year this year. You mentioned Ryan. He is not that he needs any more plugging, but his apparently his little show's called Ryan's World. I say little show, I'm mad that he has so many subscribers.
Little shit show.
Right? We're shitting on this poor little 8-year-old, 9-year-old boy.
Yeah.
But fuck Ryan. I said it, John. Fuck Ryan. Ryan's World.
You guys want? No, I can't say this.
I don't even know what you're gonna say, but yeah.
You already know that I'm not very filtered. If I'm afraid to say it, then I shouldn't.
Yeah.
It's not anything.
So apparently he has this thing called.
I just don't want any litigious things going.
Right, Ryan has very powerful lawyers, John.
Yeah, I was gonna say this kid probably has the best lawyers.
No, but you've seen his stores.
Never watched the video.
Well, you've seen his toys, right?
They put his face on toys.
Yeah, they put his face on toys. So he has this thing called Giant Mystery Egg, and it's a series. Now it's on the 3rd series apparently. So this
Who do you
is
think's
popular.
worth more, Ryan or Nicolas Cage?
Ryan.
Ryan.
Yeah, I see. How much is Ryan?
I don't know.
Ryan's World.
I like these random trivia questions.
Probably Ryan. Isn't that worth it? He earned. God damn. Shit. And the thing is, he's not even the highest paid YouTuber. 22 million. Well, and a lot of it's from his product line. He's a product. He has the product line at Walmart.
So what do you got him worth? I already got Nick's. If it's, I don't know if it's accurate, but what do you have Ryan at?
Let me see.
I don't know Ryan's last name.
Kaji.
With a K?
Kaji. So you earned 22 million, but it doesn't tell you. It says he earned 22 million in 2018.
Yeah, Nick Cage is laughing at him with his 25 million.
Oh, but he did earn 11 million between 2006. But you know, Ryan probably he like spent it on drugs and shit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not starting rumors. I hear Ryan definitely has a coke problem. That's all I'm just saying.
We're getting sued.
They're just rumors floating around.
We're getting sued by Ryan.
I'm like, how does he have time to play with so many toys?
Like, we're gonna get sued so much that we're not gonna be allowed on YouTube anymore.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
So apparently his egg holds 15 surprises, John.
His what?
That surprise egg that I was talking about, the toy.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Hatchimals are apparently still popular. Transformer toys.
Consensual Tickle Me Elmo.
But you know, in this day and age, it's hard. There really isn't a big toy, right? Like, it just, we're so fragmented.
There's so, you know what it is? Was there one last year? What, did you say it?
I couldn't find one. Like, that was definitive.
I think they're getting so good at just make a lot of them.
Yeah.
Because especially when it's like tech shit.
Yeah.
It's so cheap.
Yeah, it is.
That they know that too much inventory is better.
Well, this is the crazy thing. Kids nowadays they're asking for iPhones.
And do you know what else it is?
What?
You want to get into a little conspiracy shit.
What? What is?
But it's not really conspiracy shit.
What?
Is that our data is worth so much? They know, they have a better idea of the market demand today.
Yeah,
They
that's
do.
true.
Like they know, like
Well, there will never be shortages of like.
no, there might be a little bit, but not. They're not gonna be like. I don't think they're gonna be like Tickle Me Elmo days. It's like they're not. The market is not being underestimated like it used to.
You know, before we leave, I want to touch on one. It's funny. You probably haven't watched it, but maybe you've heard of the craze.
Pornhub.
Yeah. On Disney Plus.
I mean, not today.
On Disney Plus, there's this show called.
I mean, I've masturbated to Disney Plus.
It's called The Mandalorian, and on the show, I don't want to ruin anything, but I don't know if you're gonna watch it. But there's this character called the Child. Looks like Yoda, but it's a baby.
I did not masturbate to that one.
And
that's not what I'm talking about.
And surprisingly so, even though this is Disney and this is one
I'm
of the
talking about old school Princess Leia.
And it's super popular.
In the one scene.
And it's super popular.
I need to defend myself right now. You're not giving me a chance.
And this baby Yoda character, I'm gonna call him Baby Yoda because that's what everybody's calling him online. Super popular, and you would think this is Disney. Obviously, everybody's talking about him. There's probably gonna be toys this Christmas, but you can't find anything official. The earliest.
Well, keep that shit to yourself, motherfucker.
The earliest. If
you know, we have 20 million people listening that are gonna take advantage of this.
Right. The earliest that Disney has a actual toy coming out based on Baby Yoda is in April of 2020.
Okay.
So it's crazy, right? Nowadays, like you would think they would just flooded the market with these a toy of this character.
They're
super
smart.
popular.
They're smart.
Yeah.
They know that the market's not ready.
Yeah. Well, and also I was reading some articles. Why isn't it out right for Christmas? And part is they didn't want to ruin the surprise. So, usually the way these things work, they're a year ahead, and they're making deals with manufacturers, and this episode came out this show started so close to Christmas. They didn't want to put that out so ahead, and maybe some images leak of this new toy, and it's like, oh, what is this character? Oh, apparently he's gonna be on this new show. So, but it is interesting. The toy that probably would have been one of the best sellers this Christmas doesn't come out until next year.
Right.
But
it's called Baby Yoda.
That's what everybody's calling it on the show. It's officially called the Child. They haven't given it a name because he doesn't talk. He's a 50-year-old baby. Because apparently the species doesn't age very quickly. So remember, Yoda was like 700 years old.
Yeah, I mean, he looked pretty good for 700.
Yeah, he looked pretty good, pretty spry. But
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I want to make it clear. I have to clear this up.
Okay, clear
When
it.
I say I masturbated to Disney Plus, it was to what's her name in Captain Marvel.
You're trying to like clean it up a little
No. It was what's her name? She's hot.
Brie Larson.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, you're lucky there's no like little like characters. Oh no, there's the daughter. Never mind.
Yeah, there's Brie Larson.
Brie Larson.
Yeah, she's cute. I like her. She's hot.
So that's it.
She's older than us.
John, before we leave this week's episode for this last few minutes, do you want to name what is for you your most favorite toy of all time that you had as a kid, or maybe that you have now? Like, what do you think is like?
You know, it's funny. I was gonna bring up something that's not a favorite, but that is a weird ass toy.
Go ahead, bring it up.
And I'm not helping my case here because I've said so many dirty things on this podcast already.
Go ahead.
I'm bringing it up, and I'm already gonna get whatever. I don't care anymore. Okay. Do you remember there was a board game called Don't Wake Daddy?
No, I've never
Really?
I've never heard of this.
I had it.
Really? What was it? Describe it.
Okay, yeah. Look it up real quick so you can just see what the premise of the game is. It was like one of those things where you had to like sneak across the game board.
Oh, I remember the commercial for this.
I had it.
Yeah, I remember the commercial for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, explain it to people who may not know.
Yeah, you just go through the game board. There's like a series of like, and then like the father's asleep in the bed at the end of the game board. Like, you got to make your way through like, piece by piece. And then it's like one of those things like where you try not to like set off like little gadgets, gimmicks, kind of things that like.
So with the dad, was it a doll or was it?
It was a bed. And then something would put like a little like a weight on a button, and then the dad would just pop out of bed. It's like an alarm, like, and you would lose if you woke up the father.
Okay.
But now looking back on it, that is some creepy shit.
Don't wake daddy.
Yeah.
Don't Wake Daddy.
Because if I told you like, hey, there's this Lifetime movie called Don't Wake Daddy. As opposed to this game board that came out in 1996.
I completely forgot about this game, but I remember the commercials now.
Milton Brothers.
Don't Wake Daddy.
No.
You know what? Before we leave, John, let me play it real quick. Quick commercial. This is what I remember.
Is he gonna wake up? Don't wake Daddy. Is he gonna wake up? Don't wake Daddy.
The game where you try to sneak into the kitchen without waking Daddy. Land on a noise. It could be back to bed for you.
Don't wake Daddy.
From Parker Brothers.
All I can think now is, holy shit, what's going to happen if Daddy wakes up? Jesus Christ.
I had completely forgotten about that. No, I do remember the commercial. I never had it.
I got it from like a cousin in like Christmas.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, I never had a lot of board games because nobody wanted to play with me. So
no, I still don't think anyone wants to play with you.
Nah, nobody does.
No.
I grew up pretty like the loner.
You know, I've never. Okay, once I think. I don't think I've ever finished Monopoly more than one time.
It's not a fun game.
It's not. No,
Yeah.
it's a dark game.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, Louis C.K. has that joke.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
really
summarizes
is.
pretty
You're
well.
like, holy shit! I started this game. Now I'm bankrupt.
Yeah.
I'm fucking in jail.
Yeah.
They fucking like they repossessed my fucking like.
Yeah,
Foreclosed on my shit.
pretty
Like,
dark.
Jesus Christ.
There's no board game that I can say I ever enjoyed. Like I can't tell
But
you.
you know what? It really does, and I'll stay by this. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican.
Mm-hmm.
But I do enjoy.
John's apolitical.
But he
plays for both sides.
No. But I do enjoy the concept of profits and wages versus wages. And it does teach you about money.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
So with that, if you guys want your kids to learn,
Play Monopoly.
yeah, tell them to play Monopoly.
So John's favorite game of all time was Don't Wake Daddy.
I was so scared to wake Daddy. I'm like, oh my god.
For me, it probably was like the Turtles. Like,
Oh, I love them. Yeah, I didn't
that
actually
was my
answer your
favorite.
question.
that was my favorite. That was my favorite.
You know what mine was?
What?
Fucking Talkboy. Rub it in your face right there.
You know what? I'll tell you the one. Actually, Talkboy wasn't the one that the toy that got away. You know what was the toy that got away? I'll let you look it up. I don't know if you remember this. Do you remember? I think I've told you this, and you said you hadn't heard of it. something called the Triple Arcade. Do you remember that conversation we had? Like
A few days ago.
no, it wasn't a few days ago. It was like,
No?
yeah. So
Yeah, we did. Because no, maybe not.
Nah. So
Oh, yeah, no. You could turn it into different shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
You said you barely remembered it, but you said you
no,
never.
No. I thought you were talking about something else.
Yeah.
We talked about another thing. Yeah.
So the Triple Arcade. I remember I wanted this, and I asked that fat bastard Santa Claus to bring it to me, and he didn't. But obviously, and if any kids listening, please cover your ears. Okay, I'll give you a second. Okay. Obviously Santa Claus isn't real, right? So obviously your parents.
Wait, what?
Your parents bought Santa Claus toys as well, right? So
Hold on a second.
since I wasn't a rich kid like John, my mom couldn't afford the Triple Arcade.
Not a rich kid at all.
So I really wanted this. So if people don't remember, the Triple Arcade was a 3-in-1 toy. You got a basketball hoop, you got a skee ball, and you got like a actual like pinball machine, all in one game. Hence the name.
No,
Triple Arcade.
no. I remember seeing. I remember seeing it, and I did want it.
Yeah, that's the one toy that I didn't get that I've to this day I'm like,
Yeah.
I really want it, and I didn't get it. And you know the excuse was, this is what Santa Claus actually wrote me a note, and he said that they were all out. It's bullshit because I saw it in the store, John.
So you got a note?
I got a note.
You got like a handwritten note?
Yeah, like this is fucking bullshit because I saw it in the stores, John.
How old were you when you stopped believing in Santa?
25.
Is that right?
Yeah, I was 25.
That's weird because you're 24.
I'm 25 years old when I stopped believing in Santa.
Your birthday was yesterday. You turned 25 yesterday?
Yeah. I stopped believing in Santa Claus. John.
Yeah. Now, it's funny. Real quick, I remember it was in elementary school and I stopped believing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to think how deep in elementary school. It might have been the last day of 5th grade, right before middle school.
Yeah.
No, but it was funny because do you know what so you get a handwritten note, obviously, from your parents, right?
Yeah. I think my sister wrote it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was funny was I remember asking the question to my mom, or I think, my mom.
Just straight up, is he real?
And I was like, how can Santa be at this mall and that mall and that store?
Uh-huh.
And she goes, oh, well, and this is a real thing she told me. And I believed it because I was a child.
Uh-huh.
She goes, well, that's not actually Santa. Those are her elves. They're his elves that dress as Santa.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, and then I was asking for like expensive shit.
Uh-huh.
And even my mom was like, in her head, she's like, fuck you. Like, she didn't say that. Oh, she might have said it. I don't know. But she goes, you know what? She goes, it's not how you think it works. I swear, this is exactly what happened.
Uh-huh.
She goes, we still have to pay for the gifts. She
Oh,
goes,
that's a good one.
yeah. And I was like, yeah. She
that's
goes,
a good
I swear
one.
to God. She goes, Santa just takes the orders.
Oh, that's so good.
She goes, it still costs us the money.
That's so good. Oh, your parents are so
And
fucking sharp.
So I backed off my list, got so shittier. just out of
That is
guilt.
so
Just out of guilt.
Oh,
and I was like, how long did y'all take to come up with this one? Like, I'm thinking about it now. I'm
Wow.
like, yeah, she goes, those are his elves. She said, we still get a
Your
bill.
your
She
mom-
goes, we still get a bill that we have to pay. She goes, Santa's just like, he's like a distributor. I don't think she said that, but that's basically exactly what she was implying.
So she taught you about like the supply chain, right? Like the
Right. Yeah, she's saying like you can't just ask Santa for whatever. She's like that was the way. It's like how it's justified. Like, oh, I can't get whatever I want.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit. I was like, well, I know we can't afford that, so it's like I can't ask Santa for that because you're gonna have to pay for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny, right?
Yeah.
So it's like that's how I became like really disciplined, like with my list.
I wasn't as savvy as your mom. Yeah. To think that, because I would ask for like trip work kit. I didn't get it.
Right? I want Disneyland. So you want to go? No. I want Disneyland.
I want to own Disneyland. Yeah. So. All right, John. So that's it.
Thanks for depressing me for the day.
Toys, nostalgia, right?
It's not depressing. It's just like weird.
Yeah, it is.
The holidays depress me though.
Yeah. Hopefully you don't off yourself this year.
Yeah,
with your
I don't like doing it on an odd year. We're doing 2020, baby.
with Yeah. I hope we don't record your suicide note on your Talkboy.
Jesus.
Let's hope you don't do that, John.
That's why I want to record it, because if I write it out, I'll be like, oh, did I use the wrong there? There's 3 different ways to spell there.
All right, that guarantees you won't. So,
Yeah.
okay. On that happy note,
I'm just kidding, guys. Cheer up this holiday. It's not. It's
well,
not
you know what?
it's not that bad. Don't stress out. It's whatever.
So, is that your final? We end every episode with John's advice. Is that your advice to everybody? Don't stress out. It's gonna be okay.
I have 9 nephews. I have 1 niece. So holidays are like a giant bill.
Not
Not a giant bill, but you know.
I think you had more.
No, there's 10 combined.
10? That's not that bad.
For 2 sisters.
Yeah. No, I'm saying like just in total. I don't know why.
Why would you think there was more than 10?
I don't know. I just thought that you had like 20.
I mean, by Christmas Day, I might have like another 4. I don't know.
It's just multiple.
Who knows?
Yeah.
2 sisters, 10 kids, whatever.
They got a basketball
I would say,
team.
yeah, just don't stress out too much. Everybody, like, they say like stress increases around the holidays, and I get it.
I did like 70%, 80% of my Christmas shopping today.
Did you give it to Jeff Bezos?
Yeah, I gave it out to Jeff Bezos.
Yeah.
It's so easy.
He's gonna have a great Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
Don't worry about Bezos, guys.
Yeah, yes.
That's usually what I stress out about, whether or not Bezos is gonna be okay. He's gonna be all right.
He's taking the stress out of Christmas shopping.
Yeah, don't take it too seriously. Just fucking do what you want to do.
There you go.
Be who you want. Do the family thing. Do the thing. Just
There you go.
get through it. You'll be all right.
That's John's advice.
It's really Matt puts me on the spot here. I never think about what to say.
And you know we're gonna do this every week. I mean,
I know. I should really prepare something and be like, let me get my notebook.
Jerry's Corner. Remember Jerry's Corner on Jerry Springer at the end of the.
Oh yeah. You're just talking to the camera.
Yeah. So, all right. On that note, we'll leave you because we're running out of tape. We still record these on tape, so we're running out of tape.
We're using a Talkboy right now.
Yeah. This is being all recorded on Talkboy. We're gonna upload this digital and convert it to digital file and upload it to YouTube.
All right. Today's episode is brought to you by Don't Wake Daddy.
All right. See ya next week. Bye-bye.